Let's see your smiling face, Ivan.
Good evening, Bernalillo County Democrats. Happy holidays and happy third Thursday. My name is Manny Crispin and I'm the Vice Chair of the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County. I hope that you are doing well, staying healthy, and having a good holiday season so far. I know it's been a tough year for all of us, but I'm optimistic that brighter times are ahead of us. I wish that we could all celebrate the holidays together like we do every year, but I'm so grateful that we have adapted to this moment and that we can still be with one another. I am all so excited about our lineup this evening. We have our terrific Bernalillo County Clerk, Linda Stover, our awesome State Auditor, Brian Colon, our fabulous Senator from District 16, Antoinette Lopez, and our amazing Lieutenant Governor, Howie Morales. We will also have a brief message from our wonderful DPBC Chairwoman, Flora Lucero, and also we will hear from Cheryl Harris. And we will also have some toasts to the new year with some very special guests. The main focus of our event this evening and our call of action is giving back to the community. As we grapple with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot forget all the great charitable nonprofit organizations out there that are not only helping our community, but also struggling to get by themselves. This evening, the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County will be highlighting 10 organizations that provide vital services to aid to our community and throughout. If possible, please take some time sometime soon to give one or more of these organizations something that they're showcasing for this holiday season. Now, it is with my great review that I present to you Miss County Clerk Linda Stover to kick off our program tonight.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. And oh, my goodness gracious. There I am when I first got into the political campaigns. I was about 8 or 9 years old when that picture was taken. My dad was running for the House of Representatives, and I walked door to door with him. So that's when I first got started being a Democrat. A working Democrat was right there at that age. And I have stayed with the Democratic Party all these years, and it's a good home and a good fit for me. I think we probably have one of the best parties, especially in Bernalillo County, that you can look at as a political functioning party. I learned through being county clerk what a great Bernalillo County Democratic Party we have by the people that helped and came forward and worked with us. I had Manny's job for about 6 years, and I truly, truly enjoyed being vice chair of the Bernalillo County Democratic Party. I was secretary of the party before that, and then I became the vice chair, and then I was state president of the Democratic Women. So my life has been filled with really, really good things about the Democratic Party. I'm very grateful for this party. I'm very grateful for the people that participate. We probably, and this is going to sound very partisan, but I mean it to be because I can't be in my job, we probably have the best group of working Democrats I've seen in a long, long time. You guys did a fantastic job in a pandemic to get Democrats elected. I just don't know how they were able to campaign and do their jobs and raise money. It just seemed like a mission impossible, but everybody came through and everybody did what they needed to do. You know, within this group right here in Bernalillo County, each one of us has the ability to change the world if we just hold hands and go forward together. We've got a governor that's had a really stiff back and she's taken care of us, and I'm grateful for that. I think we should be proud of her. And now look at our beautiful Deb Haaland. She's going to go to Washington, D.C. and represent us. How lucky are we? It is all Bernalillo County Democrats. I just can't tell you how proud I am to be here. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you for giving me my job another 4 years. I really love my job and I appreciate it. I'll give over to the other speakers. I think Howie's going to come, the governor's going to come next, Lieutenant Governor. But I do wish you from my heart to yours, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and this will get better. We will all be together soon. Thanks, you guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, County Clerk Linda. And I did want to point out that Bernalillo County voters decisively did choose Linda Stover to, serve as our next Bernalillo County Clerk again for this term because of how amazing she is. She pledged to increase the Borough of Elections community to outreach the increased voter registration and the voter turnout, and to ensure that the documents maintained in the recording and filing and accurate were easily and accessible to the public. She's always proudly served as the vice chair like myself, and she was also the Democratic Party of Bernalillo. She was the countywide for 2 terms, the director of the Albuquerque Metropolitan Area Flood Control Authority. She's also the president-elect for the New Mexico Counties Association, and she also serves on the national board of the National Democratic County Officials. And also, to celebrate, Linda also served as the president of the Federation of Democratic Women for 4 years, and this fall, the Federation of Democratic Women honored 100 women in remembrance of their 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, and County Clerk Stover was one of those women. Let's all give it up for our county clerk with her record-shattering records of getting our voters out there and making sure that our vote is secure. Let's give it up for Miss County Clerk Linda Stover. Thank you again, Linda. We wish you a happy holiday, and thank you again for being a part of our program. Next, I would like to turn it on over to our one and our only, he needs no introduction, State Auditor Brian Colon is New Mexico State Auditor, a seat he won handily in 2018. He's focused on ensuring New Mexico's tax dollars are going to the right places to invest in early childhood education and to better schools, renewable energies, and the health and well-being of New Mexico's family. Brian believes that embracing these values will bring long-term prosperity to New Mexico. He was raised in Los Lunas Bosque Farms in Albuquerque, and his parents, Rafael and Shelly Colon, are so proud of him and all of his accomplishments. The first in his family to go to college, Brian received his bachelor's degree in finance from NMSU. Go Aggies, I'm also an Aggie. And he went on to receive his law degree from UNM. Well, there's always Lobos and Aggies in the same household, and that's how it is with my partner Joe and I too, so I totally understand. Evenings and weekends are spent helping local nonprofits raise money to support their causes, meeting with young men and women in his mentoring, and his involvement in politics is incredible. Formally, it began in 2008 when he was elected as chairman of the Democratic Party of New Mexico. And he is married to his beautiful wife, Aleli Colon, an engineer and teacher, and they have one awesome grown young man, Rafael. It is with my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you our New Mexico State Auditor, Brian Colon. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Brian.
What a privilege it is to share this evening with each and every one of the 45 folks on this call. Incredible, incredible leadership that's been brought together. Linda Stover is just sunshine in a bucket. No matter where she goes, she brings her ray of sunshine. And I just am so honored to serve with so many great New Mexicans like Clerk Stover, like the incredible folks you're going to hear from tonight, like La Senadora, who is a hometown girl from my home county of Valencia County, and my Dr. Howie Morales, who serves with distinction in the gubernatorial ranks of the state of New Mexico, one of the finest we've had in 108 years. Look, today is day 718 for me of awesome serving you as your state auditor of New Mexico. I am so thrilled to be able to wish you a happy Merry Christmas and just tell you that I am your ecumenical poster boy. I'm so glad to be celebrating the holiday season with you. Just finished lighting the menorah, my Hanukkah, to celebrate the 8th night of Hanukkah. I've got my menorahs behind me. We've got the Christmas tree up in the living room, and we'll be counting down the days to Christmas. And so happy holidays to each and every one of you. It's a thrill to be with you tonight. And I just want to say thanks to the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County for always being creative in its approach, for never resting on what has been done in the past and envisioning what can be done in the future. And that's exactly what happened tonight. People say, well, we're busy. Well, folks, we're never busy for things that we want to do. And the leadership of this county party has said, we're not busy. Our schedule may be robust and enriched, but we're never busy. And we've always got time to celebrate the beautiful people we care about. And that's our members of the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County. And I'm just grateful that we have such strong leadership here. I know that I was asked to bring a couple of photographs, and I'm going to try and show you here. It's not going to be as cool and pretty as the pictures you saw of Clerk Stover there, but they are going to be a little reminiscent, and hopefully you can see this pretty good. This was Brian Colon as Jabba the Hutt. I don't know if you can see how big I am there. I'm about 100 pounds bigger than I was, or than I am right now. But the beauty of this photo is my little baby boy and his beautiful mama Lely. That was a long time ago, about 20 years ago to be precise. And that's one of my favorite photos. It was the first president that Rafael got to meet. I got to meet 36 years worth of presidents of the United States. I'm like the Forrest Gump of New Mexico, just popping my little head up and down. The only one I refused to meet was President Trump, and I don't have to explain why. And then here's another fun political photo. You might recognize that guy, our president-elect, and that's Majito right there. And that's the day that the vice president told my son that I do really important work as chair of the Democratic Party, and that he's got a pretty good dad. And ever since then, my son's liked me a little bit more, so I really appreciated that. My last photo in the trifecta of this series is another kind of Jabba the Hutt photo, but I share this because I don't want people to forget. I don't want people to ever forget how much time our president-elect, Joe Biden, has spent in New Mexico. This was just about 6 years ago, I think. Still pretty heavy, so that's how I count the time. But this was the vice president and I doing campaign work down in Doña Ana County in Mesilla. He traveled the whole state that election year to help make sure Democrats went up and down the state and won up and down the ballot. So he knows New Mexico, he loves New Mexico, and he's been deeply committed to the land of enchantment, the Tierra del Encanto, the 47 star on the beautiful flag of the United States of America for a very long time. And I'm just so excited that he's made the right choice for Department of the Interior in our Congresswoman, Deb Haaland. It's a good day for New Mexico. It's a great day for DPBC. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for inviting me. It's an honor to be here with La Senadora, the governor, and an incredible clerk of Bernalillo County. Elections without a hitch, brought to you by Linda Stover.
Thank you so much, Auditor Colon. We really appreciate everything that you do for this state, moving us forward. And we appreciate how you also have Cafecito con Colon day after day, unless if duty calls. You're always there to lift us up. Thank you so much for being a part of our program, Auditor Colon. I really appreciate your leadership, and I really appreciate you being my mentor. I really do. Thank you, Auditor Colon. It is with my great pleasure that the next guest that we have is Senator Antoinette Seville Lopez. Seville Lopez graduated from the University of New Mexico and the UCLA School of Law. She taught law at UNM for 27 years and remains an emeritus in the law professor world. She serves as the executive director of Enlace, an anti-domestic violence nonprofit conducting outreach to Latino immigrant communities. She's also served the boards of New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the Valley Improvement Association Board, Bernalillo County City of Albuquerque Air Quality Control Board, and the Southwest Women's Law Center, and the New Mexico Hispanic Bar Association. Currently, she serves proudly and diligently as the State Senate Districting Senator, and she goes above and beyond. So I want to introduce, without further ado, our amazing State Senator, Antoinette Seville Lopez. Let's give it up for Antoinette.
Thank you, Manny. That was really kind. Although I'm no longer the director of Enlace Comunitario, but it was a fabulous, it still is a fabulous agency. I am so excited to be here, and I just want to commend Bernalillo County, the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County, because this is amazing. You always find a way to make people feel welcome. You always find a way to make people feel like they matter. And you always find a way to really get us excited about what are the best policies for the state. I know that this was a tough year. 2020, adios, ya basta. But if you think about it, we're going to look back at 2020 and we're going to say it's when we turned the corner on corrosive policies. It's when we got rid of the ugliest president in my lifetime. And it's when we saw a sweep of progressives in the House, in the Senate. And we're going to see policies that start mattering to New Mexico. We're going to see policies that are about the people, not about the profit. And that's going to make a big difference in our state. I think sometimes we don't really appreciate democratic values like we should. My father used to say, I'm a Democrat because Democrats are for the people and Republicans are for the money. And it's the people that matter, not the money. You can't eat money. And that's what we have to remember, is all of our policies need to put people first. And when I think about everything the party has accomplished over the time that I've been active, which I guess has been 20, 30 years, it's amazing. We have gotten more and more people engaged. We have gotten more and more people elected. We've started electing more women, have stepped up, and we've just seen a sea change. And we're going to see that difference. And we're going to look to 2020, while it was an awful year, as a time where we made choices that are going to take us in an amazing direction. And so I'm really, really happy to be here. It's always tough to follow Brian Colon because he's just so amazing. People tell him, oh man, you should be a TV host because you're so good. And Linda Stover, I always say to her, she's Miss Best Dressed. She always looks amazing. She's always so enthusiastic and she's always so positive. And Manny's energy in the party, oh Manny, you're just amazing, the kinds of things you do. So I want to thank everybody who's here and everybody associated. Flora has been a really special kind of leader with Bernalillo County because she's not all about Flora Lucero. Flora is about the values of the party and she makes people feel welcome. And so I'm very, very happy that Flora has shown the leadership she has because she's a servant leader. It's not about Flora, it's about everyone else. And that really is going to take the party very, very far. So with that, I want to wish everyone a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful Hanukkah season. And while this year comes to an end, let's reflect on what we can do for the future of the people, the future of our environment. And we can make a difference, each and every one of us. And however we make a difference, we've got to do it because our planet literally depends on it. So thank you very much, Manny. Thank you for inviting me and looking forward to the rest of the party. I'm glad you didn't have a baby picture of me. I was a very, very chubby baby.
Thank you so much, Senator Seville Lopez. We really appreciate all the work that you do, not only for District 16, but also in the legislature and for the great state of New Mexico. Thank you so much for also being there when I need advice, and also thank you for being a mentor to me also. I really appreciate all my mentors, Linda, Brian, and Antoinette. You have all been instrumental in my growth. And I am pleased that you will be moving forward to help New Mexico reach new heights. And thank you so much again, Senator Seville Lopez. Thank you. Our next guest is our esteemed, amazing Lieutenant Governor, Howie Morales. Soon after taking office in January 2019, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham asked Lieutenant Howie Morales to take charge of the State Public Education Department. He did that until a permanent secretary could later be named. During that period, Howie Morales joined the governor in calling for a historic $500 million budget investment in public school classrooms, part of the governor's education moonshoot. Since 2008, Howie has been an aggressive leader for children in classrooms in the state Senate, fighting for the district that he lived in and to make every corner of New Mexico a better place to live. He fought for rural and tribal economic development, and he fought to protect veterans and senior services across the state. And he also really contributed to mental health programs. So I work in the field of mental health, and I cannot tell you what a champion Lieutenant Governor has been for us. Howie earned the trust of his neighbors and was elected Grant County Clerk, where he modernized the voting system and to make sure that all the votes there were counted. An experienced leader with solutions, Howie Morales has a solid record helping to lead the effort to meet our state's big challenges for better jobs and wages and real improvements to public education. It is with my great honor to present to you our State of New Mexico Lieutenant Governor, Howie Morales. Thank you so much for being here, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you so much, Manny. Really appreciate the invitation and your upbeat energy. It's so contagious, and I can even feel that through the Facebook messages that you would send. And I look forward to this evening. Even though we can't be together, doesn't mean that we can't celebrate together. And we're doing the responsible thing by making sure that we're staying connected, but at the same time staying safe. And what a wonderful list of speakers that you've had. You know, I've had a chance to work with Senator Seville Lopez, and I've enjoyed the time that she's been there in the Senate. She sits right in front of me, so we often make eye contact, do some nods in agreement, and just appreciate the leadership she's shown. Our county clerk, I can't tell you just how blessed that we are, because all eyes are on elections, as you know. And the most stressful job that I've ever had was being a county clerk. And yet she made it look so easy with the way that she trained her poll workers, her presiding judges, her staff, and we got the election results in so quickly. Was something that we're just so appreciative of the work that you've done there in Bernalillo County. And also to give credit to our previous Bernalillo County clerk and our now Secretary of State, Maggie Toulouse-Oliver, who has really shown that we're gonna have a strong front going forward to protect the integrity of our elections. And what a wonderful way to have this meeting take place with our wonderful auditor, Brian Colon. You know, I've had a chance, and many of you have heard us speak. We've traveled all around the state, many, many miles together, and we grew closer and closer. And something that never changes is his passion, his energy, and his commitment to New Mexico. And I'm so grateful, not only that I call him my state auditor, our state auditor, but I also call him my friend. Grateful for the leadership that he's shown, and I'm appreciative that he continues to connect and to communicate with people all across the state. You know, just today, it was a great celebration. We had the wonderful news that broke about our wonderful historic cabinet secretary nomination. Deb Haaland has been a champion. She's been there through the most difficult of times. She's been there, and now she's gonna continue to lead us as a nation with the experiences and the roots right here in the state of New Mexico. What a wonderful opportunity to celebrate. We also had an opportunity earlier, and one of the Zooms that I did was in celebrating some of the wonderful work that's done by our local legislators. Senator Linda Lopez, Representative Liz Thompson, carrying legislation that takes on the big corporation of tobacco and carrying that legislation to see it through. And January 1st, we have a piece of legislation that's gonna protect our youth, that's gonna protect people from buying tobacco until you're age 21. And I think that is a huge impact of what we can see coming forward within the next few years, but you can't do that alone. And I know that we talk a lot about champions for certain causes, but the reality of it is there are no champions who operate alone. We're all a team. We all work together for the common good of what's important for the state of New Mexico. And that's why I'm so grateful for Democrats across New Mexico, and particularly Democrats in Bernalillo County. Because it's often said, the way Albuquerque goes is the way the rest of the state's gonna go. And it's true. The state has benefited from this blue wave in large part because of the wave that's happened there in Bernalillo County. Flo, as your chairmanship and the work that you've done, continual communication, Manny, the work that you're doing, and all the people within the Democratic Party. I know people like Carolyn Mack, who's done tremendous work, others who have just continually volunteered to make sure that we can have the important phone calls, that we can make connections with voters, and that we continue that work taking place, That's what makes it so special, is because the victories that we have and that we experience come November starts way before that, in the off season, connecting, communicating, and making sure that people all across this state know that it's important, and we see the continual improvements there in Bernalillo County. So I'm excited of what's about to come. I'd also like to say, big shout out to our Governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham. Press conference days are extremely difficult because you get a lot of opinions. A lot of people can have their platform on social media and say whatever they want. But she's stayed pretty firm on what we need to do. And that's been from the very beginning, keeping New Mexicans safe, healthy, and ensure that we can keep people alive. To ensure that we have the special attention and the focus given to our healthcare workers, our first responders, our law enforcement, our fire, all those people who are out there on a daily basis, putting their lives on the line. They're pushed to the brink right now. And because the governor's strength and the governor's determination to make sure that New Mexico is going to stay safe, we protect every one of those essential workers. So it's important that we continue to recognize and continue to voice our support for that, because there's a lot of pushback that comes with that. But the reality of it, we know that truth prevails, and we know that love wins. Love will always win. And that's what's going to carry and continue to carry the state of New Mexico, is the love that we have for our cultures, for our communities, for our languages, for all that we bring within the state of New Mexico. We're going to get beyond this COVID unfortunate year that we've experienced. We're going to get beyond that. But what I hope that we never forget is when the movie theaters open up, that we don't forget about the single mom who has to work 2 jobs and can't even afford to take her kids to the movies. That's why we're going to continue to fight for a living wage. And that we don't forget, whenever there's other opportunities that open up, like restaurants, that we don't forget about those workers who are out there who've been impacted because of unemployment or whatever has taken place because of what COVID has cost. But we want to make sure that we're continually showing support for them and our small businesses all across the state. So there's many lessons that we're able to learn from this pandemic. As difficult and as challenging as it's been and will continue to be, it's also an opportunity for us to take a breath and to take a look around to see what it is that we're thankful for and blessed in this state of New Mexico. We're going to see better and brighter days. I'm confident of that. But we're going to continue to advocate for one another and to ensure that in truth, in the very end, we'll look back and say it was love that carried us through. Love every single one of you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year on to 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales. Your leadership is unmatched. Thank you so much for all the leadership that you've provided in New Mexico politics, and that you still continue to provide. With you by our side, I know that you can help New Mexico to be as awesome as we can, and to help our children to excel and to help fill the digital divide. Thank you again for being here, and thank you for being a great leader in New Mexico. We really appreciate it. Thank you again. Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales. Alrighty, well, I guess we've come to another segment of the show where we can guess who this, let's see who can guess who this beautiful baby is. Well, if you can't, it is with my great honor and my great privilege to announce to you my colleague, and I couldn't have done this, any of this without her. So I wanted to introduce to you our one and our only, our DPBC chair, Flora Lucero.
Thank you very much, Manny.
Thank you.
I sure appreciate you, Manny, and thank you for doing this. Thank you for bringing your whole self to this, and all your warmth and good cheer, and helping us to have a little bit more cheer this holiday season. Thank you, Manny, for pulling this together and doing it so wonderfully. And thank you to each of you who are here. I am so blessed to know each one of you. My life is richer because of you being in it. And I thank you so much for that. In this very difficult time, especially this year, 2020, we're going to look back and we're going to say, we learned so much, because you learn more from experience, don't you, than you do from reading a book or from listening to a podcast. And this experience we've had this year has taught us so much about our love for one another, about our care for one another. It's why we're doing this virtually too, because we care for one another. We care about being safe. And we thank you, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham and Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales, for leading us in such a way that we're knowing that we have a cohesive strategy of care for one another to fight this enemy, this virus. And my heart goes out to each and every one of us who's impacted, but especially, as Governor Morales was saying, the single moms, the single parents who have to deal with this. Senator Lopez, my hat's off to you all the time for the amazing work you do, but also as a single parent to be guiding your children through this. I just am amazed by you single parents that are doing this. It's amazing. And I thank each one of you for lifting each other up during this election year. Miss Linda Stover, the job you did is nothing short of amazing. What you did to pull off this election, we had record numbers of people voting, record number of absentee ballots, and your process was flawless, and it is admirable. So thank you for bringing your leadership to our county and for doing such a fabulous job on all our behalf. It was great. And each one of you, as I said, thank you for all you do. This is an amazing time to be with you. I look forward to looking back on this year and saying, yes, goodbye 2020, but thank you for showing me how good of a community we live in, because we really do. And each one of you has shown the goodness here. So happy holidays to you all. Thank you, Manny. And Cheryl Harris, our second vice chair, couldn't have done it this year without Cheryl and her wisdom and all of her wonderful thinking. She's just amazing, thinking and doing. She's just an amazing vice chair. So thank you all. I wish you the very, very best this holiday season. May your hearts be filled with warmth and your homes be filled with love. From my heart to yours, Feliz Navidad.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I couldn't have done it without Flora by my side and also with Cheryl by my side. So again, thank you very much, Flora, for your leadership. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for everything from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I guess we're gonna guess who this beautiful baby is next. And she will also be our next speaker. And she's my left-hand woman also, and it is our Vice Chair, Cheryl Harris. Thank you for being here, Cheryl.
Thank you, Manny. You are so clever and original. This is a lot of fun. I was told by Manny to talk about next year, but I couldn't talk about next year and make good wishes for next year without kind of looking back over all of my friends here. If there's one thing we have in this party, it is friendship and love and unity. We are just like a family. I don't have any family here right now anymore. They've all gone away and left me. And if I didn't have you all, I would have no family, but you're my family. And I have so many wonderful memories. My late husband and I moved back here in 1996 to the Southeast Heights, and Don Metters and Michelle Metters and Antoinette and her husband Victor were some of the first folks I knew in my ward. And gosh, we've been friends a long, long time. I was a vice chair under Ana Canales, and during that time, I got to know Brian along with some of our other state chairs. But Brian, I think, well, Yeah, I think Brian was the first one. And Brian, what page are you on here? Where'd you go to? Do you remember the presidential primary we attempted to run back in February of? It's amazing we didn't all slit our wrists during that, but we made it. And so many other friends. Linda, I remember when you were county chair and your big grown-up man was just a tiny little boy. And to see the growth of all of our families and our children, and now with your daughter, it's just such a wonderful thing. And then I moved out to the west side and I met so many new friends, new parts of my family on the west side here. Let's see, I got to see who's here because I know Bob Cunning was here. Hey, Bob. And Athena and Carlene and Joy Garrett, and then so many, Lon, just so many other people. And the folks I've worked with at Adelante, like Patty and Samuel. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's 46 of us on this call, so I'm gonna have to wind it down. But you're all wonderful, you're all family. I want to show you a Christmas card that I got. I don't know if you can see, it has 2 chickens on it, and it says, "Peck the halls." And that came a couple days ago from Chris Cedillo, who's our ward chair in Ward 26A over on the southwest part of town. And I don't know how many of you know Chris, but he's also been a good friend of mine. I know Linda does, they're in the same district. Chris is now raising chickens, and he started out with 41 baby chickens, and he now has 41 big chickens. And he wrote me a long story about chicken math and how they tend to increase in numbers. And he said his 41 chickens are laying how many eggs a day? They average about 10 eggs a day, and he invited us all over. They have 38 chickens and 3 roosters. So when it is safe to do so, come visit us at our chicken farm and have some chicken, have some eggs. So, you know, just another family friend now. And Chris is a great guy. He's not on the call tonight. But another good friend is Deb Holland, who has been, I know, a strong supporter of all of us. And today was the cherry on the cake when she got named to be the future Interior Secretary. My daughter works for Interior back in DC, and Tracy said they are all so thrilled and happy back there to get Deb as their boss. They're just so excited. So from me to all of you, all my family and friends here in the Democratic Party, I just wish us a very, very wonderful 2021. It's going to be better than it was in 2020. We've got the vaccine. We're going to work our hearts out for everybody in the party, and I'll still be around hanging with all of you guys, I hope. Oh, I left out Cooch, I left out Wendy, I left out Elizabeth, hello. I left out Melissa. I've just gotta, and where'd Cooch go to? Cooch, I've known her a long, long time. So I love you all. Oh, and there's Melanie. Tracy said to say hi, Melanie. So Happy New Year to all of us, and may all of our wishes come true.
Thank you so much. I really love that you're my left-hand woman, and I could not thank you enough. You know, Cheryl, and those spreadsheets, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your work, and I really appreciate your leadership. Thank you again. Well, I guess we'll go on to our next segment. You know, we're the party of the people. We are the party that is always there to help. We're always there to help not only those in our party, but also those throughout the community. During this evening, I think that it's really important that we highlight that, you know, we are all in this together, and we are all just trying to make the best out of this. And I just feel proud that we can move into 2021 you know, with such a positive call of action from the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County. So how can you help? Well, I chose 10 agencies that we wanted to partner with, that I thought we could help, that definitely could use assistance. So without further ado, I'll move on to our next segment of the program. And I will introduce to you our guest, Shannon Woods Trujillo from APS. And let me get this going really quick. And she is a social worker. She's been doing it for over 20 years. She's a champion not only for the students at APS, but also to her community. We also had the great privilege of having her on our program last month for our Digital Divide. Thank you for being here, Shannon Woods Trujillo.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. And yes, I work with the APS Title I McKinney-Vento program. And what we do is we support families and students that are in homeless situations. I myself work at West Mesa and all the schools that feed into West Mesa. Every year I coordinate the holiday adoption process. And we work with local businesses, with churches, with individuals, anyone who wants to reach out and support one of our families. And when that happens, we then reach out to the family and we get a personalized wish list. You know, a lot of families will ask for things like trash bags, dish soap, laundry soap. We ask what their favorite color is, what they like to do, what they like to read, what their hobbies are. And when we get this wish list, then we share it with the business, and that business will then adopt the family. We're spending this week making home visits as fast as we can. And with COVID, of course, it looks a little different. They're kind of contactless drop-offs. We'll put things on the porch of a motel, or we'll meet at a Walmart and we'll put things outside the car. And then, you know, we wave at the family through the window. And we've tripled our adoptions this year. So that just goes to show just exactly what Mr. Colon said. We are celebrating our community. We're celebrating the people we live with. We're taking care of one another. And I love it. I love that everyone is supporting our community and our city. We enroll new families in APS every week that are in a homeless situation. So we're always looking and need to, absolutely. So if you're interested, you can go to the APS Education Foundation website and donate through there. We provide school supplies, hygiene products, food, anything that will help support students to be successful in school. So thank you guys for being here. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. And like Flora said, 2020 has shown us what a community we are. So I just thank everyone for being here and supporting our students and our families. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shannon. We really appreciate the work you do and the work that you've done over all these years. You know, I had the pleasure of working with Shannon, and she's just been awesome since 1998. She's been the resource, you know, research teacher. She received so many accolades from many different families and from across, you know, the entire county because of the work she does. So it's really important what you do, and we appreciate it. So I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, Shannon, thank you again for being here, and thank you for being an advocate for change. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, our next agency that I would like to highlight is All Faiths Children Advocacy Center. And it is my great privilege to introduce to you the one and the only Miss Yvette Tovar. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us a little bit of time to share our work with you all. It's lovely to be here. So briefly, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our organization. If you're familiar with All Faiths Children's Advocacy Center, for 64 years, we have been working as the trusted advocates for children and families affected by trauma in the Albuquerque and surrounding area, and now throughout the state of New Mexico. So we have been very much impacted by the pandemic in the sense that the families that we were serving prior to the pandemic have experienced additional stressors with the pandemic, with issues of layoffs and furloughs and access to technology and food scarcity issues, and really just overall economic hardship that they're experiencing. But our families were already in acute situations, many of them, right? And so the impacts and the realities of the world changing around us due to the pandemic really added some additional layers of stress that, of course, none of us were ready for, but they really weren't ready for. So to give you an idea of what that meant for us as an agency, we are primarily a behavioral health agency. So all of our staff, with the exception of one program, pulled out of the office in March, as many of us did. And we have been providing teletherapy to our families, to the children and their parents and their caregivers since March. So that's for children ages 4 to 18, and of course to their family members. And so that has been really quite remarkable, and really due to the incredible ability of our staff to pivot and to be flexible and to recognize the importance of continued support for children and families in this very specific way. The other area of our organization, though, called the Children's Safe House, which is a forensic interview program, has remained open the entire pandemic. It is seen as an essential service. What it means is that we provide forensic interviews to children where there have been either allegations of abuse levied and an investigation has been opened, or where a child has been witness to a violent crime. So in either one of those types of situations, law enforcement opens up an investigation, and they, together with either the DA's office or CYFD, come to the Children's Safe House. The non-offending caregiver comes with the child, and we conduct what's called a forensic interview. We do a video recording of the story of that child if they're ready to tell their story. We record it so that the child does not have to retell their story and re-traumatize them in a court, but that yet the recording can be used to help prosecute the case. But that's really only the beginning, because what happens after that is that we very much recognize that the child and their family really need support to start the healing process from that trauma. So trauma occurs, but it doesn't have to be a life sentence. So healing and recovery is very much able to happen. And so family advocates come in, and we start giving supports to the families, both on the therapy end, but also in the practical life, what we call case management, meaning you can have a family come for therapy, and that's great, let's work on our issues. But if when you go home, there's not enough food in the refrigerator, the efficacy of that therapy is really compromised, right? So we are just as committed to the marriage of therapy with the case management. Our families are in survival mode. The goal is for them to be thriving, right? We want them to be, to come to us at a very particular, acute and painful part of their life, but we want to help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, get the skills and the support they need so that they can thrive. So these supports really come in the form of everything from household necessities to shoes for their child, right? So when you ask us for the holidays, what is it that our families need? To be perfectly honest, it's not toys, right? To be perfectly honest, what they need, the need doesn't end on December 25th, right? The need for food and tissue and shoes and whatever that family might need comes in the form really of, we often give gift cards to our families. So we're giving them gift cards to grocery stores like Smith's and Albertsons and Walmart and Target, especially stores that have sort of the range of items that you can get. So depending on whether you need household necessities, a clothing item, a toy for your child, right, or food, you can get that with the dignity of being able to shop for that yourself, right? So what we've done is on our website at allfaiths.org, you look at the ways to give. We've tried to make it really easy for folks to support us by purchasing gift cards online, and they get delivered electronically to us, and then we pass that on to our families also electronically. So we don't want donors to go to a store and stand in line. We want them to stay home in their bubble and be safe, right? And yet we need your help. and we are so grateful for any and all help. People give gift cards typically in increments of $25 or $50. Again, you can go to our website. We've got the links to all of the stores I've mentioned there, but always we would gratefully accept monetary donations that also go towards helping our families in these critical times. To give you an idea of the impact of the pandemic on our agency, prior to the start of the pandemic, we had around 80 to 85 families on the waiting list. And as of Thanksgiving, we were around 167. And as of yesterday, we have 200 families on the wait list. And what we're seeing is that the families that are in our care are needing care for longer than they typically would, right? Because of these extenuating circumstances and the impact of the pandemic. So the need is great, and all of these organizations are incredible. We're incredible, and we're all dedicated to the work. So whatever it is that you choose to give your support, I thank you on behalf of All Faith Children's Advocacy Center, but really on behalf of all nonprofits who are doing the hard work day in, day out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the important work that you do. Coming from a line as a mental health professional and also from case management experience, I know firsthand how difficult it is to, keep the agencies running and to help these families. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And just we will be sharing the Google Drive with all of these links and all of the different needs that they have with you in the blue review. So don't sweat it. All the websites and all the different things they need will be clearly outlined in there. So again, let's give it up for Yvette Tovar, and thank you for everything you do. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Alrighty, the next agency that we have that we're assisting this holiday season and throughout the rest of the year will be the Barrett Foundation. And it is with my great pride that I introduce to you Heather Hoffman. Thank you for being here. And I would also like to give a special shout out to Eileen Van Prickel, who is also with us from the Barrett Foundation, who helped organize all this. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're happy to be here. Thank you for having us. We appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit about each of these amazing organizations. So I'm the director at Barrett Foundation, and I'm actually new to New Mexico. I've only been here about 3 months, so this has been really enlightening for me to kind of get a sense of some of our neighbor organizations and some of our amazing representatives and folks here in New Mexico. So while certainly we are the Barrett Foundation, I suspect most of you know us as Barrett House. We are the shelter for women and children who are experiencing homelessness. We accept single women and then women with children who, like I said, experiencing homelessness, don't necessarily have to be experiencing domestic violence. I know that can be a very kind of common misconception about Barrett House. We can house up to 40 women and children at any given time. And then our primary goal, once those folks are in shelter with us, is to help get them into sustainable housing as quickly as possible. And, as far as shelters go, we have a pretty fabulous success rate of helping these folks get into long-term sustainable permanent housing. But we also have a handful of external programs besides just our shelter. We have permanent supportive housing programs, rapid rehousing programs. We even have, as of July of this year, we even have 12 affordable housing units in the community where Barrett House is actually the owner of those 12 apartment units. And all of those external programs are open to anyone in the community. They don't have to be women and children. They're open to anyone who would be eligible for those particular programs. So at Barrett House, at Barrett Foundation, we work really hard to make sure that holidays can still be a time of joy and celebration for our residents and participants. Just like Yvette was saying, this can be such a particularly hard time of year. Folks can really, really struggle and not be able to experience the holidays the way a lot of other folks are able to. And we receive so much generosity from the community so that we're able to do that. So all of our program participants receive meals, they receive food to be able to make holiday meals, they receive presents so that they can give presents to their families, presents for themselves. And yeah, so while this is a time of giving, that therefore becomes a time of need for our shelter and for Barrett Foundation. And as such, we are having a supply drive this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our shelter at 10300 Constitution Avenue. And you know, right now, as with everyone, right now, the biggest things that we really need are those cleaning supplies, that Lysol, that stuff is like gold right now and really hard to come by. But also paper products. When we're serving our clients who are here like 24/7 at the shelter at this point, our amazing chef is preparing food for them. All of that's going on paper plates so that we're providing health safety. We're not washing those things. So plasticware, any kind of paper products like paper plates, paper napkins, paper towels, all of those things would be hugely appreciated and truly helpful for us to be able to continue to provide good services to our residents. So we thank you so much for letting us be on this call. And like Manny said, he's gonna push all this information out to everyone afterward. For anyone who has questions, I'm sure he'll give us our contact information as well. So if anyone wants to reach out to me later, please feel free. He's nodding. So yes. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Heather, and welcome to New Mexico. You definitely have a place here. And thank you for the important work you do and that you continue to do. We're very, very grateful for your service. Thank you. Our next organization that we're going to be featuring is Crossroads. Unfortunately, there were some that could not have somebody here because they are very short-handed, but this will be in the Google Drive document or the email that we share, and it's under crossroads.org, and that will be included in the newsletter. So please consider giving to Crossroads for Women, please. Thank you. The organization that also does not have a representative here, but said that you can go to their Heading Home website to also get donations at headinghome.org will also be included in the email. And the third one that did not have a representative, but is always taking donations, monetary, clothing, food, you name it, HopeWorks. They're taking it, and I will also include that in the link. Alrighty, the next guest that we have is from PB&J Family Services, and we're really happy to have them, and we're happy for the everything they do for our community. They've been around for a long time. They're trusted, and I believe in their mission, and we want to help them. I want to introduce to you Alexandria Lucero. Welcome, Alexandria.
Thank you, Manny, and good evening, everybody. My name is Alexandria Lucero, and I manage PB&J's Early Intervention program, which is just one of several programs within PB&J that exist to support our mission in helping children develop to their full potential in nurturing families within a supportive community. And so we work with families with children that reside in Bernalillo County, Sandoval County, Valencia counties, and the surrounding pueblos as well. And these are families that are at risk or are already impacted by child abuse and neglect, incarceration, substance abuse, mental illness, and poverty, just to name a few. And we provide services such as therapeutic and developmental support, case management support, home visiting. We have pre-K operating out of 3 of our sites. We offer parenting classes, and we also offer, we were offering transportation before the pandemic, just to name a few of our services. And so every year for Christmas, we work with generous donors throughout the community to basically provide our families with a Christmas that they may not otherwise have. And so much like the program that APS has, we develop a wish list with all of our families, and that's well underway. You know, we work with donors to get the list, and they really do their best to try and meet the needs of the families. And they're just such basic needs. It's never anything extravagant that the families identify. It really is cleaning supplies, blankets, jackets for their children, shoes, socks, hygiene products, those things that for a lot of us are just normal everyday items that, you know, we think nothing of when we go to the store to purchase. And so luckily all of our families have been adopted, and we've been getting all of the items out to our families. But we still have new referrals that are coming in, new families that are coming in that missed the deadline and the cutoff for that. So definitely we're still accepting support for these families in the way of gift cards, monetary donations, you know, anything that you all are able to you know, go out and open your hearts to give us, where our families are so willing to receive them. And the one thing that families are always in need of, not just for the holidays, but children always need diapers. So our families are constantly in need of diapers and wipes, items like that. And so all of those things are just so very necessary and just always needed from our families. And so if you need more information, like Manny said, he's gonna be putting all of our information in the newsletter. And I really appreciate the time that you all have given us to just hear a little bit about our organization and all of your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexandria, and thank you for working with me to be our champions for change. And just thank you so much for making time to be here this evening. Your work speaks volumes. Thank you again, Alexandria. Okay, Stillbridge, they could not have a volunteer this evening. They are very short-staffed, but they are in desperate need of donations. I will also be including this in that program. Okay, and then Valencia Shelter Services is next on our list, and I want to welcome Stephanie Villalobos. Thank you for being here from the Valencia Shelter Services.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to take space and talk a little bit about what we do. I come with such gratitude hearing all the other organizations, and as they talk about the passion, all the things that they have been doing in the midst of this pandemic. It feels so wonderful to be a part of such a strong organization for the state of New Mexico in that way. So I'm very grateful. So hi, my name is Stephanie Villalobos. I am the Executive Director of Valencia Shelter Services. I have the honor of working in the same county that I was born in and being able to bring change within that county. So Valencia Shelter Services supports victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse within Bernalillo County and Socorro County and Torrance County. So as you can imagine, that deep work that we do is such a passionate part of who we are, and being able to be there with individuals at their most vulnerable time is something that we are very passionate about and very honored to do, and something that we hold very, very dear. We are one of the only shelters in the state of New Mexico that supports not only domestic violence victims in it, but also sexual assault survivors as well. We are one of the only tri-service agencies within central New Mexico, so you can imagine we have a lot of needs within our community. But I have to tell you that being a native New Mexican and one who is grown up and lived in Valencia County, you get good at doing with what you can. And our team is one of those teams that's very good at thinking outside the box in order to help these families get what they need. And so it's honoring for me to be able to sit here and tell you about this organization. And this Christmas season. This Christmas season, we have been working so hard during this pandemic to make sure that there is still a bright, shiny moment of a holiday in this midst of what is so complicated and challenging for not only just parents, but for kids to understand. And so we're really trying to do this big push this year to, yes, of course, get victims everything that they need and all the basics that all these organizations have said to you today, but also to the big push in trying to make sure that we do get some gift under the tree as well. And so trying to bridge the gap between not only supporting victims in their most vulnerable moments, helping them try to navigate this time of the pandemic, as well as trying to shine a little bit of Christmas magic for our kids is something that I'm here today to ask for some support in. Anything, everything, volunteering is even welcome. Anything that you think that your heart can feel guided to give, we'd be extremely grateful. And I'm sure all the organizations here would be too. So I wanted to thank a couple of members on the call today as one of our supporters. I wanted to thank Senator Seville Lopez. She's one of our big supporters and a native Valencia County woman herself. So I did want to say thank you for all the support that you give us. I also did want to thank State Auditor Colon. He's also a native Valencia County man, and so we're very grateful for his support all the time. Yes, thank you. And so I am so grateful to be here with you all. I am so grateful to share space. Thank you for allowing me to have some time. The best way to give to Valencia Shelter Services is through our website. We are accepting donations that way. We also have this Christmas season created an Amazon wish list. And on those wish lists, we sat with each of our families and identified what items they would really love for Christmas. And some of them were needs and some of them were gifts. We wanted to get both. And we added that to our Amazon wish list. And by ordering that, it goes straight to our office. We wrap it and then do a toy delivery to the families. Or depending upon the family's preference, it'll go directly to the family to make sure that there's no face-to-face contact. We're just trying to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe, adhering to all the orders, but also, like I said, Christmas magic. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. And as I believe one of the only the last organization left, I did want to say that donors like you make this possible. You make what we as organizations do real. You take, by giving to us in any way possible, be that time, be that money, be that donations in material things, you take what we do into the real world and the real life. And so we're really grateful and so thankful for that. And the other thing is that I do want to remind everybody that all of the organizations that spoke today did give the vice chair a list of how they could receive donations, and those will be given out to you on the next Blue Review newsletter. So no worries on that. If you find the heart and the desire to give, just go ahead and go to that newsletter and find the organization you want to support and how they're accepting those donations. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here with you, and happy holidays for all of you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. We are beyond grateful for the work that you do. And like I said, I wanted to feature Stephanie Villalobos and the Valencia Shelter Service because in our line of work, she is a champion for that change that we need. So thank you, Stephanie. And thank you for all of the agencies that were here today to help us with this very, very important work. Together, we can get through this. Together, New Mexicans will get through this. The next project that I would like to share with you is, also real quick, and I'd like to remind everyone, since we are talking about our local agencies and our local businesses. I think that everyone should shop local and support small businesses as much as possible. So if you're able to get some of the donations that you can purchase from somebody here, that would be awesome. So thank you again to all those awesome agencies. You made our nice list. Thank you again, and we are honored and privileged to work with you. Thank you again. As you know, it has been a very complicated 2020, and I have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Elizabeth Cerna, and she is one of my friends and dear colleagues in this push to help our future to be bright and merry for our children, not only during this holiday season so that they can connect with their friends and family and loved ones, but so they can also learn. Elizabeth Cerna is a school counselor at West Mesa High School. She graduated from the University of New Mexico with a bachelor's degree in fine arts and a master's degree in clinical and school counseling. She is a Hispanic woman and a native New Mexican. Her family roots trace back over 5 generations. She graduated from Cibola High School and is proud to say that she is a product of APS. Elizabeth is continually working to support and advocate for her students. She has cultivated a well-rounded understanding of the achievement and opportunity gaps within her school and the community. She came to know the needs of her students by participating and leading multiple groups in just the short time that she had started serving as counselor. She currently leads and participates in the Health and Wellness, Community School Council, AVID, and the Early Warning Indicators. She works closely with the FRC, Title I Homeless Project, Crossroads, and College and Career. Last year, she raised over $2,000 to help with food dispensary for a Title I homeless student. For Title I homeless students. This year, she has started a fundraiser called Project Connect to help students and their families with internet connection. Elizabeth has helped to serve her community with intention and purpose. That dedication and attention to detail benefits West Mesa High School students, staff, and stakeholders, and our community as a whole. It is with my great pleasure to introduce to you my friend and colleague, Elizabeth Lucero. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Manny. I appreciate that. I guess I was like, what is this one world mini stories? But I really like that. I was surprised. So yes, my name is Elizabeth Cerna, and I am doing a Project Connect fundraiser, which is to help with internet disparities. Last year I helped with food disparity, but this year we decided this was something that was really important for our students. I work really closely with Shannon Trujillo. She is also one, like Title I Homeless Project. This is also connected to that as well. The internet disparity in our schools is actually a lot different than what people see. It's a little bit harder to get our students internet, and we had over 1,600 Fs this semester, and that is the highest that it's ever been. And I have to say that most of that is due to, not most of that I can't say, but I say a majority of that, our students are dealing with internet disparity, and it really hurt them at the beginning of the semester, and now trying to catch up has been even harder. The whole thing has been difficult. Like being online has been hard, but of course if you don't have access to online, that makes it really difficult, right? So what I'm doing is raising money for these students to have a fund that we can help our students in need. We're hoping to do $60. That would help, like $10 a month, because that's what we use is $10. Oh my gosh, Xfinity is what we use for our students. And it's $10 a month, that's $9.95 a month, and we hope to help our students by funding them through the end of the semester. So $60 isn't even what some people pay for their internet per month. So if you could donate $60, you could help an entire family, which is really great. If you are interested in donating, you're welcome to, I think Manny's gonna put it in, you keep saying you're gonna put all the information there, but you could also contact me, or you can write a check to the school with West Mesa High School, and then just attention Elizabeth Cerna with whatever you wanna donate, and everything and anything is appreciated. And I thank you so much, Manny. for letting me come today. I know leading all of these other organizations that have so many wonderful things they're doing, I was like, oh my gosh, my heart is so full and so happy that everybody is working so hard to help our students and our families.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being here. And I just wanted to also point out that Elizabeth is very passionate, for everything that she does for her community. She put together this program so that kids could continue their learning process and so that they could continue on this road to success. Not only that, but I also wanted to let you know that Elizabeth Lucero was also the Counselor of the Year. So I also wanted to let you know that her heart's in the right place and she was recognized for that. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being here, and happy holidays again. If you can, donate to Elizabeth and I'll share her email in the newsletter that we're sending out.
Like mother, like daughter.
Exactly. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, you might be wondering what these One World, Many Stories is all about. And, there is a story behind this. These cards that are featured on this slide are actually from another new Democrat to New Mexico that hasn't been living here too long, but Phillips Hughes Lewing has a holiday toast that he would like to share. Here's to looking back with gratitude at my first writing assignment for the Blue Review. For the October 23rd newsletter, I was given the assignment to interview two candidates, Liz Stefanix and Claudia Reisner, about rural infrastructure. Both interviewees proved to be gracious, cooperative, informative, and appreciative. Rather than just tossing my notes from the interview into the recycling bin, I decided to use them to create a couple of thank you note cards to express my appreciation to these two candidates, Liz and Claudia. Each card measures 18 inches wide by 12 inches high and has an abstract painting that I've done in acrylics on one side and a collage made from the interview notes along with the words thanks on the other side. The two pieces look a bit similar, but looking closely at the collage notes, one can find clues to identify its intended recipient. Now, all Philip needs to do is just secure an oversized envelope and get to the post office to get those cards mailed out to the candidates. But in the meantime, he wanted to send a happy toast to their efforts along with their efforts of the Democratic candidates who he was able to vote for the first time in New Mexico as a proud voter, publicly by sharing these photos and cards with you. Thank you so much, Philip Hughes Lewing, for your messages and heartfelt welcome from New Mexico. And those messages were for you, Liz Stefanix and Claudia Reisner. Thank you, Philip. All righty, I guess we'll go ahead and start with our toasts so we can get ready to wrap up. It's 7:21. Our first toast comes from Commissioner Piscotti. She could not be here this evening. She was at another meeting for the county. County Commissioner Charlene Piscotti is wishing all of you a warm and wonderful holiday season. May we rise up in strength, love, and unity in the new year. Okay, thank you very much for sharing that toast. And there's her little baby picture. Thank you so much for being with us, even though you could not be with us this evening, Commissioner. Okay, let's go back to another segment of our Guess This Baby. Does anybody know who this baby is? Well, this awesome woman does not need any introduction, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce
Jessica Velasquez.
Jessica Velasquez, absolutely. Welcome, Jessica.
Beautiful. Thank you, Manny. The hair is actually kind of still the same. That flip has never been away from me except when it was very, very short. So thank you all for being here today. I swear, I don't think I've ever seen so many Democrats wearing red. This might be the only time we get to see that at this time of year. So we know that we are absolutely true blue through and through. And it is an honor and a privilege to be here with you tonight. And I gotta say, I don't know if any of you, hey, Markle, if you have one of these things in your house, I am so sorry. Markle the elf has been part of the fabric of our family's Christmas traditions since my now 18-year-old was 3. And the function of these elves is rather kind of creepy, to be honest with you, because in theory, they watch and they report all the bad behavior right back to Santa Claus. Well, let me tell you what, folks. There are some members of the Republican Party who are darn lucky not to have one of these guys in their house. So heading into the Christmas season, I am reminded time and again how very lucky and proud I am to be a true blue Democrat. And I know the reason you are on call tonight with all of us is that you share the same core values. And it's demonstrated in not only the words we say, but in the actions we take within our own communities. The fact that we had so many incredible nonprofits with us here tonight speaks so highly of, in my heart, what it means to be a Democrat. The fact that we have such powerful, effective leaders here on this call tonight who are committed to bringing our core values into public policy and law is absolutely breathtaking. My friends, we have just been through the ringer in 2020. It has not been easy for anybody. And looking forward, we know that 2021 will probably be the most welcome new year any of us have ever witnessed. I know I'm speaking from my family to yours when I say I am looking forward to an effective, powerful, absolutely incredible 2021 filled with much love, with incredible amounts of hope, and with a commitment to keep up the good work so that together we can build the kind of world we all want to inhabit. My friends, I am so proud and honored to be here with you this evening. From my family to yours, a very, very happy holiday season and a new year full of peace, prosperity, and good health. Friends, thank you so much for living your values and for showing up for each other here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jess. We really appreciate it. And thank you for lifting us up and for being that positive light that we need. We really do appreciate you. And you really definitely are a champion for change. And you lead with pride. Thank you. All righty. Can anybody guess who this cute little baby is? Cheryl, you're doing pretty good so far. Anybody? And if nobody can't guess, I'm going to have that little baby come on down.
Oh, I can.
All righty, we're ready.
Neely.
Yes.
Yes, you got it.
So that is my baby picture from Dubuque, Iowa. And for those of you, who don't know me, my name is Neely Lang. People know me. I've had many, many different positions in the Democratic Party, run for office. But in the Midwest, we were towheads. And I have a German-Jewish background. I have a Prussian-German background. I have Norwegian, Holland, Northern Italy. And a lot of us sort of look like this. We could all be cousins. What are we doing for time right now? Because I wanted to share a story of tolerance.
Everybody is here and everybody's celebrating in the spirit. So let's just continue.
Okay, so I wanted to share something with you that was an experience in 1992. Now, all of us remember the AIDS crisis. I did research in the AIDS crisis, and I was up in Farmington. I was seeing, and we also know about Reagan's response. The band played on. There was a lot of turmoil in the medical community that that we're seeing now, a lot of misinformation. This is nothing new that we're seeing with COVID. So I was up in Farmington and I saw a young man, a Caucasian man, who was shaking and crying, and he had HIV. And I went out and I was talking to my attending physician. And he said, oh, I said, well, I need to do a research study. I think people are really concerned about this. And this was during the time when there was the dentist that a bunch of his patients got infected. I don't know if those of you are old enough to remember that. And I talked to my mentor, Bill Weiss. I don't know if any of you know Bill Weiss, who was the president of our public health journal. And he said, why don't we do, I said, well, we need to do a survey. And I said, we need to do a survey of the patients to prove to the docs in the area that this is their concern. He said, okay, Neely, why don't you do a survey of the docs at the same time? So I interviewed 200 patients about their attitudes towards HIV and hepatitis B. And then I surveyed 120 doctors and compared it. Of course, we can predict it. The patients were much more concerned than the doctors thought their patients were concerned. Even some of the Navajo women that I interviewed that didn't speak English were concerned. So I had this data, and the International AIDS Conference was occurring in Berlin in 1992. And I went to Dean Napolitano. You can all remember Dean Napolitano. And I said, would you give me a grant to go to this conference? And he gave me a $3,500 grant to present my work in Berlin. Now, for those of you who know me, my husband is Jewish, Joel Davis, and we were preparing to go to Berlin, and my father-in-law, who is Jewish from the Ukraine, his whole family was lost during World War II. He said, Neely, I'm scared for my son, protect my son. I said, okay, because I'm sort of the big bombastic one, in the relationship. We landed in Berlin and we were at the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church. And that's a church that is kept, part of it is in disrepair to remind people of peace and love and the war in Germany. And we were in a hotel and we saw this demonstration coming towards us where people were chanting. We didn't know what they were chanting. And then all of a sudden, it was like some shots went off and there were some skinheads there and everybody dispersed. Well, the demonstration was because a Turkish family was bombed and they died, firebombed. The president came out and he talked about tolerance. There's a president and a chancellor in Germany. And it makes me, I was sort of coming back to this time of the intolerance that we're facing right now. This is not new. This was in Germany in the 1930s. This was in, they were dealing with this in Germany in the 1990s. And we as Democrats have to stand firm and fierce for democracy against lying, bullying, obscuration of our democracy. And that is sort of how I'm ending tonight. And we need to stay safe, but we need to stand fierce to protect the space that we have, because we can't take this for granted. And I'll be writing more about this to various people, but I wanted to share that story as we go into the new year, because we have a lot to lose if we don't stand fierce. And we're Democrats, so we can do that. So I have a little cup of mezcal. I'm not a big drinker, but Manny said, would you do a toast? This is mezcal. And I toast all of my fellow Democrats, my fearless elected leaders, for taking us forward in 2020 to a happy, healthy, and effective new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Neely. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And please tell Joel that he cannot steal you. We need you. Oh. So thank you, Joel.
I'm going to bring him over. He can wave.
Okay,
Joel?
awesome.
Yeah, he found the baby picture.
Thank you,
my
Joel, for
husband.
thank you, Joel, for allowing Millie to do her powerful work, not only with
There's
the
nothing of
award, but for the county. Thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing about, I am only property to a cat that I showed earlier named Hector. I'm not property of my husband, so there's nothing about aligning. We met one another in politics in Boulder, Colorado, so he knows I'm pretty fierce. So anyway, pardon?
Thank you again for being here, and thank you.
Right there. There's why don't you wave to everybody. Okay. Joe showed them Hector. Yes, I showed them Hector earlier. Joe works for Ball Brothers Aerospace.
Thank you so much, Nilly. We really appreciate it. And thank you for the work that you do in your ward and throughout the county. You are a champion for us, and we are proud to have you serving with us in the party. Thank you for being such an active member. Next, as promised, we will have our 2021 crystal ball predictions for New Mexico and county politics with Senator Linda Lopez, her awesome son Lorenzo, and also welcome Cherish. Thank you for being here. I really miss you guys. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Manny and Flora and everyone who has been with us this evening. I so very much miss our parties where we can be together and give each other an abrazo and just kind of do the usual person thing that we are all so very used to. 2020 has been, wow, a heck of a year. But I think we have a few predictions for the upcoming 2021. And I know for myself, I think that, for us here in New Mexico, the vaccine is here. We still have to take care of each other, still wear our masks and do our duty. But I look forward to this summer where we can have our in-person parties, where we can come up to each other and give our abrazos and just hug each other and be there to be able to converse and talk and share, because that is so important and so central to who we are as people, but also in our party, in our Democrat Party. Just that's something that I predict that we will be able to do. In fact, you all will be invited to my block. I'm going to have a block party where we can all come with their enchiladas, hamburgers, whatever it is, kind of a potluck, but we're going to have an event out here on the Southwest Mesa. So you are all will be invited to join us. Yes, in fact, with live music, we will have some definite música so we can all dance our hearts out. But I know we're going to do some good work this coming legislative session. We're going to get rid of that antiquated abortion bill. That thing just needs to be passed and signed by our governor. We're going to redo some of those budget issues, take care of our public schools, deal with the issues around racial justice, institutionalized racism, sick pay for our essential workers who are so crucial for the work that's been taking care of us in our communities. So for me, we have a lot of hope, and I know that Lorenzo, I think, has some predictions that he wants to share too. But most and foremost, as Cherish has shared with me too, she looks forward to being able to go back to school in person safely so that she can begin to hang out with her friends again. So I'll give it over to Lorenzo.
No, I only want to go see my friends.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. My name's Lorenzo. Still like this year has been like a rough year for me, like beyond online school. And I just think that this COVID case I did not understand it well this year a bit, but I was getting used to it. It's just being inside like every day now and then. It's just like where did time go? It's just I was missing like some great things, and I wish I could have done more. I just spent the rest of my teenage years just being inside the house, locked away, or just kind of missing out with my friends and getting to learn new stuff at CNM. And I'm working on finishing up almost, and hopefully get to graduate like in one more year. And I turned 20 years old in January, so this is like 27 more days left for me to go. So, and I'm pretty much looking forward to it. And my teenage days are over. So who knows what else is coming? But I'm doing good. Just trying to keep it going, and my studies are going well. I'm still getting into contact with my instructors and my advisor, and everything goes well. It's just I just still tell people sometimes they just can't wear a mask, and they just don't follow the rules. They just choose not to. Just that's not okay. This is not a joke. Just they gotta stay safe and keep the 6 feet apart, social distance. Don't be in crowded areas until we get through all of this together, and say we're going to enter a new world, which I'm looking forward to. It's just that's the new world I want to go to. Like I stayed strong this whole time, this whole year. It's just been a great fight, and I was just basically fighting for survival of my own. So I'm glad I made it this far, and I'm looking forward to next year to be a better year. Thank you.
So from our family to each of you, Feliz Navidad, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, be safe, God bless. And here's to 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all your work that you do as senator. And thank you for always being there as a mentor for me and answering those hard, tough questions, and just for always just answering your call and your messages when I need you. I couldn't ask for more. And thank you so much, Cherish. We all miss you. We all miss seeing you playing at the events, and we miss you, you know, being there. I miss giving you your hugs, Cherish. So we all miss you, okay, dear? And we can't wait to see you again. And Lorenzo, Joe and I live close to Nob Hill. We live over here near Washington and Constitution. And I have a P.O. box downtown that we go get our mail at, and we take the long way on purpose just so that we can go see your art. So thank you for your contribution to Central. If you guys want to go check out his art, it's pretty awesome. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you, Cherish. Thank you, Senator Linda Lopez. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for them. Thank you. All righty. Can anybody guess who this cute baby is? Anybody have a guess? It's pretty cute. She's building a snowman. So I didn't recognize her either when I got the picture. Obviously, I knew who it was, but without further ado, I would like to introduce to you, any guesses?
Melanie.
Flora did not see this slideshow prior to this. It was a surprise. I made this so it could be awesome. So Flora's on it. Here we go.
Good. How did you know that? Flora just read the bottom. Come on, let's be honest there. She just read the bottom. It says Melanie.
Oh, does it?
Oh, look, she's pretending.
Oh, no. Well, hi, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. It's so wonderful to be here with you all tonight. I'm honored to be here. I have to know about this picture. My sister will actually be mad if she finds out that I sent this picture in, but I was looking for a picture on short notice. So the person about to clobber me with snow in the background is my sister, Willow Parks, who probably many of you know. She used to be our county probate judge, and she's my big sister, and she's actually the person who is one of my mentors and a person that I really look up to, and I'm so proud of. So I'm here to also add to the toasting tonight. I don't know about the rest of you all, but I've been doing a lot of ugly crying today. You know, I know a lot of people have talked about it, but just the momentous, amazing, historic, I'm gonna cry again, nomination of Deb as our Interior Secretary. You know, it's hard to even put words to how important it is, not just to our community, but to our country. And just so proud of her, and I'm so proud of the work that you all did to get Democrats elected up and down the ballot, including Deb, including me, including Joe Biden. But what an amazing and historic and important moment. And I'm just so grateful to be here today to be able to celebrate that with you. And as many of you know, I've worked in climate and water and natural resources issues my entire career. And so this week is also particularly exciting for me because in addition to Deb and the climate cabinet, some of my heroes and people that I love have been nominated this week, including Gina McCarthy as our climate czar, Ali Zaidi, who's my former boss at OMB. And in fact, I worked with Cheryl's daughter, Tracy Goodluck, in the White House, and Brenda Mallory, who was the head of the Council on Environmental Quality and has been nominated to lead the White House efforts on the environment. So it's a big day and a big week. And the other thing that has been bringing ugly tears to my eyes the last 48 hours is all the vaccination pictures that I've been seeing online. You know, we've been through such a journey this year. It's just so much that we've all experienced spiritually, emotionally, socially, in our families. And I just love all the things that people said, Flora, Cheryl, others, about our family. This is our family, whether you're our family by choice or our family by relation. You know, I'm just so honored to be a part of this community. I salute you. I thank you for all the incredible work you do. And I just want to say salud, and here's to all the hope and joy and amazing good things that are coming in 2021. So cheers.
Thank you so much, Representative Stansberry. I really appreciate all the work that you've done, the work that you continue to do, and how much you put into your work. Your work is unmatched and it speaks for itself. Thank you again for being here. I really, really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Okay, well, I guess we've come to this time where it's time to say goodbye. But I wanted to just thank you all again for such a wonderful year serving as vice chair. It's been an honor and a privilege, and just thank you. I'm filled with joy, and I'm gonna keep it together so that the waterworks don't start. Thank you, Melanie.
Manny, thank you so much for putting this together. This has been a beautiful evening. Thank you for doing it and all you do. And thank you for sharing that cute little picture there. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Bernalillo County Clerk Linda Stover, State Auditor Brian Colon, Senator Antoinette Cedillo Lopez, Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales, and all the wonderful organizations that we highlighted this evening. And all of the hardworking Democrats in the Bernalillo County, not only here, but throughout New Mexico. You are all special to us, and we could not have had the victories and the gains that we made this year without you. We know that it's been a tough year, but we've nearly made it to the end, and I know better times are ahead for Bernalillo County, New Mexico, and our entire country as a whole. Finally, I also wanted to send a special shout out and thank you to the healthcare and essential workers who are on the front lines of this pandemic. I also wanted to thank my beautiful partner, Joe Noriega, for all the help that he always gives me day in and day out. You know, I am a big person for hugs, and I just miss you all, and Joe is able to, you know, provide me with so much love, and I'm very eternally grateful for him. We are grateful for you, and everyone, please have a wonderful evening. Be safe. Take care of each other. Happy holidays and Happy New Year from the Democratic Party of Bernalillo County. Thank you all for being here.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Manny, it's Charlene Piscotti. I just made it.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I just got off my meeting. I just got in here.
I
Oh, my
did share
goodness.
your toast, and share your toast, and we did share your baby picture. Do you want to share a few words with us?
Oh my goodness. It looks like I missed such a good party. This is so cute. And Manny, you look awesome. I don't see Joe on my screen, but you look
He's
great.
watching it in the back office on the Jumbotron on the projector. I have the small little laptop. He has the family room.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just got off ABC GC and I came right on here and I'm like, no, don't log off just yet. But yeah, I just want to wish everybody the happiest holidays. I feel like things have really turned around. Things are looking good for next year. I remember during the vice presidential debate when that fly landed on Pence's head, and I texted Joe and I said, I think this is a sign that things are going to turn around for the Democrats. And so I'm sticking with that. I see good things ahead. And so I'm glad that I made it to the end here.
Well,
Look
thank
at all
you
those
again
good faces.
from the bottom of our heart, and happy holidays to all of you. Thank you again for being here. And
Kisses, everyone. Hugs.
thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Namaste.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.